takes me back to my middle school singing in the choir, one of my favorite songs, so that was perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it. Not sure how you did that, but it was good. That was it. All right, we're going to take up item number 2, discuss and take possible action on approval of personnel action forms.
Okay, the first 3 are new hires: Carlos Mas, Corrections Officer; Raymundo Pena, Corrections Officer; Manuel Colon, Corrections Officer. Retirement: Ronnie Millward, Precinct 2. New hire: juvenile probation, Albert Jimenez. Temp hire for the district attorney, Wyatt Miles. New hire: Melissa, an auto clerk position in Cashville, Morgan Rowley. Ethan Hondo, telecommunications. New hire. Resignation: Christian Gossin. Resignation: John Bull, PDO. New hire: Matthew Myers, PDO.
I will approve the personnel action form.
Have a motion or a second to approve the personnel action forms. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of Homeland Security Grant 45781-02 for Operation Lone Star. You all may recall we applied for this a while back, and we did receive an award in the amount of $295,853.52. And this is us accepting that grant. And I know, Gilbert, this is some overtime. One vehicle? Is there a vehicle in there?
One vehicle, overtime money, and some equipment.
And some equipment. Yes, so that's what the grant is for.
I will approve the Homeland Security grant.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the acceptance of the Homeland Security Grant number 45781-02 in the amount of $295,853.52. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discuss and take possible action on approval of line item transfers. Good morning, Ms. Reedy.
Good morning. On item number 4, we're going to ask the court if we could please table this. There's some other expenses that are going through for emergency management, and we'd like to just do everything all at once.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that we table item number 4. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Item number 5, County Auditor Monthly Report.
Good morning again, Commissioners. In front of you is our monthly report for the beginning of January 2024, or pretty much the activity that occurred in December. Our cash on hand as compared to last year, January of last year, is at $13 million. And then the next page, we're looking at the fund level, the different funds that are available. Now, just keep in mind that we haven't received any tax monies in yet, and obviously that's more than likely why it's as low as it is. But we should be getting that in pretty soon.
Do you typically start coming in slowly in January, maybe
Yes.
a little bit more in February, and in March you usually get
Right, it's usually January, February, and yeah, it starts to trickle in.
So these numbers on page 2, those are how current? What is it this morning? What are these numbers?
This is as of January 1, so the end of December. Again, if any of you commissioners have any specific questions, just come by and see us and we'd be happy to discuss anything with y'all.
Thank you. Item number 6, discuss and take possible action on approval of accounts payable.
Yes.
Good morning. The total for accounts payable is $1,187,859.51. All payments over $10,000 are listed on the cover page, and we did have 2 wires, one for P-Fleet and one for United Healthcare.
I got a question on line performance, precinct 2, is actually on page 12. For on white asphalt, there's a credit, $15,768. Can you tell me what that is?
I can pull that up on the laptop and check it out and see what it is. Yes.
I don't want to get the credit.
You don't need it, I'll say it.
I don't think you're getting that.
So I have a question, probably for the auditor. It looks like my AP for this time period is more than what I have in my account. So timing is going to be crucial as to when we get money. And I don't know how long that takes once the treasurer sends, the tax office sends funds over, how that gets distributed and dispersed. So how do we handle that? And I've been close before, but never
Yes, so, just to kind of clarify and correct me, Jennifer, if I'm wrong, but, so we do have funds, so every time that the tax office is getting those tax funds in, they're collecting, right? So that money is pretty much sitting in an escrow account. When we get that report is when we're able to determine where these funds need to be allocated to. So, I think we can discuss if we have a chance and see where we're at exactly. Because I know you still have payroll coming through this week as well.
In the past, once it gets over there, time it gets back to you, comes back to Commissioner Court, and goes back to her. In the past, that takes 60 days. David, if you need some money, I'll give you money to cover your AP account.
Well, whatever.
If that's, we're going to do this later. I'll give you what you need to make sure that way you're above, you're good. I don't want to transfer over $75,000 or $100,000 right into my account.
I think Dan, David, and I are kind of all in the same boat. Just because I don't think keep at least, 50,000 working capital,
Okay, I got nothing bigger coming up at all. I got plenty in my account. Just so we don't go negative. Could be $150,000.
we can take a look at it with the auditors
Yeah,
office
check it.
and see how much we need.
Everybody be safe, all good.
What expenditures we need for the next month, because I do believe once we hit the next Commissioners Court meeting, we should have funds. I would have started, yes, rolled in.
They'll have them allocated over is what the hope is.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm to make sure the way they got to move the money around there, it takes 60 days.
Well, and we haven't received the November report, just FYI too.
Right, we were waiting on that, and Melissa had said the other day that she's almost finished with it, but there's
Okay,
been,
so we have that one that we,
that it's not
it's
sitting in
not
escrow.
reflected in
Yeah,
here.
right.
I think right now we got one at 21,000, one at 10,000, one at 26,000. I move all mine and give them all 50,000, and This is a long, long way. I'll say on cheap.
And I am still looking on my credit memo. I'm looking to see what invoice it was to be applied to, or what it is from.
I don't mind the credit, but like I say, I don't know what it is.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we approve the accounts payable, accepting the sheriff's forfeiture 53 fund on page 15.
Have a motion and a second to approve the accounts payable with the exception of the 53 fund sheriff forfeiture. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss and take possible action on approval of disbursement of funds since last Commissioners Court meeting.
We paid utilities twice on 12/14 and 12/27 for a total amount of $18,986.04.
We'll make a motion that we approve the distribution of funds at that committee board meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve disbursement of funds since the last Commissioners Court meeting. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 8, discuss and take possible action on approval of Treasurer's monthly report.
This report is for the month ending in November 2023. We have a total ending cash balance of $18,763,320.02, and the debt is still standing at $24,792,030.
I'll move to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the Treasurer's report. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 9, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of donation of non-tracking fog seal material to be used on County Road 2615 Precinct 1 at a value of $4,738.
Yeah, so this is a new type of fog seal. I've been working with Ergon. There's different types of fog seals that help preserve seal coat roads and prolong the life of your seal coat roads. Especially the roads with only a single chip seal or a single seal coat that's on top of them. One of the worst things that you can have is water get into the base structure. That's the evolution of a pothole. So these fog seals actually can extend the life of the existing seal coat, depending on the traffic, about 2 to 4 years. And they're a relatively cheap cost instead of putting another seal coat on top of that roadway. If you're looking at putting another seal coat on top of a road that's, say, a mile long, 24 foot wide, costs about $30,000. The fog seal, on the other hand, typically costs only $3,000 to $4,000 to put on that same road. This non-tracking fog seal is actually one of the newer types of fog seal. The benefits for is starting to shell or pop off the existing oil. This fog seal goes in there and really locks down that rock, especially in the wintertime when it gets cold and the oil starts getting brittle. If you ever listen to it and you get close to the fog seal, it almost sounds like Rice Krispie treats because it's actually going into the air voids and locking down those rocks. It's also great, especially if you have a lot of concrete driveways that private property owners have, because it's a non-tracking fog seal. So there's much less likelihood of actually tracking that fog seal onto those concrete driveways and then having to come back and pressure wash them off. So I've been working with Ergon. They've been very, very helpful in providing us with new products that are the superior products coming out, and I really wanted to go ahead and show the county and the different precincts how these new products can benefit Medina County. So they were happy to donate to see what this product does, and I think we'll definitely use it in the future, especially on some of the county roads that we have in subdivisions that do have a lot of the concrete driveways. It's also one of the ones that actually cures faster and you can put traffic back on faster. Some of our older fog seals, you have to keep traffic off of it for about an hour depending on the temperature and the humidity. This one you can put traffic on as little as 30 minutes. So great product. Wanted to definitely get it out to the different precincts for them to be able to see it. And Ergon said, let's donate the product so y'all can see what it does and how it benefits the county.
So we're just basically asking the court if, to accept the donation, and then also to remind the court if there's any, something similar of this nature that's trial, just to let us know, just so that we can run it through to accept it as a donation.
I'll make a motion that we accept the donation of the contract fog seal to be used on County Road 2615, precinct 1.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the donation for the non-tracking fog seal from Ergon. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 10, we do have visitor and public comment now, and we'll also have one in that session. Mr. Beck, do you want to speak now, or do you want to wait until 10 o'clock?
However you want to handle it.
It's up to you. You're welcome, but we'll be back at 10 to go through the next part of the agenda.
It'll be fine.
10 o'clock?
Sure.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
All right, at this point, we will be in recess until 10 o'clock. We are going to call the meeting back to order at 10:01 a.m. First item we have is item number 12, discuss and take possible action on preliminary approval to vacate and replat lots 170 and 171 of Dancing Bear subdivision, Unit 2A, located in Precinct 1 off of FM 1283.
Thank you, Judge, thank you, Commissioners, and it's good to be on the agenda this month. See if you can get it. Yeah, this is a pretty simple process. This homeowner wants to combine the lots, and we have presented this, and hopefully everything is ready to roll.
Yeah, I reviewed this one and it looks good, and I make a motion to preliminarily approve to vacate and replat lots 170 and 171 of the Dancing Bear Ranch subdivision, Unit 2-A.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to approve the vacate and replat of lots 170 and 171 of Dancing Bear Ranch subdivision, Unit 2-A. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
Item number 13, discuss and take possible action on preliminary approval to vacate and replat lots 1 through 6 of Desert Willow Acres subdivision located in precinct 3 off of County Road 642. Mr. Howard, good evening.
Morning. How are you? Got a client that bought the entire Desert Willow subdivision and is wanting to vacate and resub lots 1 through 6 and smaller 2.3 acre lots. He's working with,
Okay.
so what,
She said that's what the flat in the packet.
We don't have in front of us what you have.
I have one copy with me.
Well,
Sorry.
we're looking to see if we can
Sorry about that.
pencil a few more.
So he has been approved by Yancey Water for additional meters. We have worked with the co-op, they do have enough service for the extra lots. I believe the road is private.
Is it private? Is there an HOA still
He is in process of that before we get preliminary, before we go for final, that will be all done. So right now, we're just working on preliminary.
Yeah, it meets all the requirements. My only question was, I heard the rumor that the established HOA could discontinue, but I don't think it's going to.
He is targeted, yes, yes, they're in process of that.
Just so that there's some mechanism for road maintenance since it is a private road.
Yes, sir.
So, for preliminary approval, I would say we go ahead and make the motion that we approve this vacated replat.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for preliminary approval to vacate and replat lots 1 through 6 of Desert Willow Acres subdivision located in precinct 3 off of County Road 642. Any other discussion? I have a question on this one. Is this one, there's a question on this road?
There was a question, but I believe we decided it's private, and there's going to be a road maintenance, part of the homeowners association to maintain the road.
Okay, so that has been,
I believe so.
that's been rectified in there?
Has there been any also in there yet?
Lot number 7.
Seven.
Oh, not through seven?
7, 8, what would be 7, 8 on the new?
No, that's not part of the resub.
Oh, okay, so it was this one down, the bottom one, right below the cul-de-sac is sold, so that's not part of the replat, lot
It
7
would be,
is.
it would be one lot sold and the whole subdivision, but this is not part of it. You'd have a hard time pushing the HOA on. It's nearly impossible. If there's one lot sold within the development, that person would actually have to file with the state to reactivate the HOA.
Okay. That'll be something we need to look at.
If that one person wants to drop the roads,
Yes, sir.
you pretty well got to pay it.
This is yours.
Yeah.
That's not our law, that's state law.
Yeah, the only thing we need to make sure that as this moves forward, that this road did get included, because there was some questions about that, I think.
I think on the previous plat, at the top, it talked about dedicating to the public, but I don't know if that was the intention. I didn't bring a copy of the old one.
It just, to me, it's kind of folded. So, we have to get that as we go through it. Okay, so something happened, I think, in the transaction of purchasing it with the road, and I think they were working on straightening that out, so we need to just.
Before we get the final,
Yes.
iron all that out.
Okay, any others?
Yeah, I had one. So if you look at lot 1, which was originally 4.2 acres, it's at the corner of the intersection of Desert Willow Road and County Road 642. And that lot will be divided into lots 1A and 2A now? Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct?
Going off the county road, go down there.
Okay, so now lot 2A will have to have a driveway off of County Road 462, or 642, I'm sorry. Correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
This one right here?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
where previously all lots were taking access off of this Desert Willow Road, okay? It looks like the frontage along 642 for lot 1A is only 210 feet.
9 feet.
Okay, so
1A wanting to put a driveway on County Road 642 and not take access off of, the Desert Willow Road. This one should be far enough away from Desert Willow Road with their access point.
So we could restrict access.
Okay, you need to restrict access on 1A, okay, and then lot 2A, it needs to be far enough away to where the two entry points are clearly delineated, okay?
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye? All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay. Thank you.
Item number 14, discuss and take possible action on a resolution requesting membership into the Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization. This item is kind of something that started back in July of last year. I had a meeting at the senator's office with his staff, with the senator and his staff, as well as Lance Simmons, it's the chief engineer for TxDOT, and it was really kind of about a list of about 8 or 9 things with our county that we were needing help with and work on. And one of those requests was to get us to be moved into the Metropolitan Planning Organization with at least a piece of our county. Just a little background to those that are maybe familiar or not familiar, but as a general group, we exist in a rural planning organization. And some people may have been a part of when TxDOT comes through on an annual basis and puts the big maps out on the table and kind of talks about future planning of roadways and all of those types of things, what we like to see, where we think we're in the future. And so that's done on an annual basis through our rural planning. And the same type thing happens under municipal planning organizations, and they are state mandated based off of populations that they have to exist, and I think there's 22 or 23 of them currently in the state of Texas. And so at the end of the day, what it's really about is access to the pots of money that are available to be able to help us with all this growth. I'm glad to see a bunch of people from the east side of the county here today, because y'all deal with the traffic every single day and know what needs to happen over there. So it's an impossible task, Medina County on our own, and even existing inside of a rural planning, the amount of money that it takes to get what we're going to have to get just doesn't exist there. So again, made that request back in July. Had a Sid Martinez is the director of the Alamo Area MPO, and him and I visited back in October, and then in November we had an initial meeting with Commissioner Sitter. Clayton Richner, TxDOT, was at that meeting, and Sid, and he came out and kind of talked through the process. And at that point, basically had the understanding that the board of the MPO was in agreement and felt that Medina County should be a part of this, and that they were willing to look at it with us. So back December, the middle of December, we had another meeting. There was formal presentation to cities, city management, city administrators. That Sid also came back out, and we showed them what this would look like. And so since then, it brings us kind of to today, and we're just going to quickly kind of walk through a few things on the Alamo Area Metropolitan Plan. So Jennifer, the next slide. And Commissioner Castiglione is going to take part of this as well. But this is the Alamo Area MPO today. Includes all of Bexar County, all of Guadalupe County, all of Comal, and a portion of Kendall County. On any given day, there's 2.45 million residents that are represented in that area. There are 16,000 lane miles represented in that area that you see. And that's state roads, that's not county roads, those are state roads, just to be clear. 16,000 lane miles are state highways and also interstates as well. Every day, there are 67 million miles traveled in that area, road miles. So 2.45 million people, 16 million lane miles, and 67 million miles traveled. Try to remember those, because on the next slide is the projection of what we're looking at in that same area. So Jennifer, if you'll click to the next one. 2050 forecast, 4.2 million residents, only 1,000 more lane miles in that same area, but 116 million miles traveled every day. Not too far from doubling it. So as we're, and everybody in this room is very aware of what's happened on the east side of our county with the growth. I mean, it's just one of the next hot spots. It's all coming to our side of the county. So, you know, the urgency in trying to figure out how we get where we're going, 2050 is not very far off, and it's certainly not very far off the way the wheels turn to try to do these massive projects and just planning and everything that has to go into them. Anything we do today is, you know, quite a few years down the road, trying to get them to reality. Next slide, Jennifer. Currently, this is the policy board. This is the makeup of that Alamo area MPO. You can see the representation on there. And basically, that number would not change. And somewhere in there, somebody, City of San Antonio or Bexar County, would actually give a spot up on the board to allow us a seat on the board as Medina County. That'll all be part of the process that we're working through. So that's kind of where we've come today. We do have letters of support from all of the cities that are involved in, you know, Castroville, Devine, DeCoste, Hondo. I think we have everybody at Liable as well. And I think we've got all but 2 of their letters in, and this is all through the holidays, as you all know, trying to get some stuff back, but we'll have those other 2 very soon. So today, you know, we'll be working to do a resolution to join with them. So that's kind of the process, and then I'm going to let Commissioner Castiglione kind of go through the rest of the presentation.
Sure. So just to give you a little bit of background, and I'm going to put on my spectacles here. So there's different types of boundaries, and so the next couple of maps that we have coming up, an urban area is determined through the census. Now, the new urban area info that we're going to show you is from 2020, and I'm going to show you 2010 and show you how it's changed. But federal regulations state that an MPO boundary at a minimum shall cover the urban area and the contiguous geographic area likely to become urban in the next 20 years. So 20 years looks like a long time, and from a perspective, I want you to think of what did Loop 1604 on the west side of San Antonio look like 20 years ago. So what did it look like in the year 2000? Because remember, it started being built in like the 1980s, okay? So you're looking at Loop 1604 when it was built in the 80s, you saw it in 2000, and now we're in 2020 and it looks completely different, right? So in terms of the urban areas, you can go to the next slide. So the U.S. Census Bureau defines urban areas as, it was formerly urbanized areas, and it has changed the definition of what constitutes urban versus rural, okay? So urban areas are based on population counts gathered by the U.S. Census Bureau, and it follows population density in census blocks, not jurisdictional lines. So it doesn't follow city and county boundaries, okay? So the urban area boundaries from the Bureau is a factor in determining how big the Metropolitan Planning Organization is and what they determine for their study area, okay? So next slide. So from the latest census, okay, of course, you know, San Antonio is an urban area. It has a population of almost 2 million people. But from the new 2020 census,
you had 4 new urban areas in the Alamo area MPO study area, which is New Braunfels, Seguin, Burning, Canyon Lake. Okay, so New Braunfels already had a population of over 100,000, but it's Seguin, Burning, and Canyon Lake really upped their population growth. Okay. So right now, you can go to the next slide. So right now, the current Alamo area MPO boundaries, they take in all of Bear County, they take in all of Comal County, all of Guadalupe County, and then a portion of Kendall County kind of wraps around Bernie, and you can kind of see the MPO boundary in the blue line, okay? So if you look at the dark purple, you see where the 2010 census had designated an urban boundary area, okay? So next slide. So here is what changed between the 2010 census and the 2020 census. So you see the new urbanized areas in red. So you can see Seguin and the Barney areas are now in red. You can also see Hondo and a portion of the eastern portion of Medina County. You got a little bit of it, and that's right coming along Petranco Road, which is FM 1957. Okay, so remember the MPO area shall cover urbanized areas and geographical areas likely to become urban within the next 20 years. So we have areas right now from the population census that are considered urban areas. Okay? So like Judge Litz said, MPO staff has been reaching out to the counties based on the new urban centers. Jennifer, go to the next slide. So the green line that you see is the metropolitan statistical area. By federal rules, the MPO, every time they look at boundaries, they look at everything that's in the metropolitan statistical area, and it includes basically all of the counties that are adjacent to Bear County. So those are the ones that they're looking at right now. Okay? Next slide. So again, just to summarize, a small number of census blocks in Medina County are now included in the urban areas. In order to meet the federal rules, more of Kendall County needs to be included in the Alamo area MPO. Previously, about half of Kendall County was included. Now they want to include the entire county. And the Alamo area MPO staff has updated the MPO executive committee on that issue, and the staff has been reaching out to Medina and Kendall County on inclusion in the MPO. So by joining the MPO, it opens up a funding stream to Medina County. There's a lot of funding that Medina County really doesn't have access to right now, because even though we're in a rural planning organization, and TxDOT does come out and say, hey, what are your number 1 needs, what are your number 2 needs, getting those funded through the RPO, the RPOs don't have as much money as the big MPOs, okay? And when you're in an RPO, you're looking at, for example, all of the counties that are included in like the Alamo Area Council of Governments, okay? So you're looking at Bandera, Kendall, Comal, all of that stuff. So next slide. So here's a couple of the pots of money that we can look at. One of the big ones is the MPO planning funds. So that would provide a great resource to Medina County, because one of the things that you need to look at doing is planning out a roadway system, looking at what is the population growth that's going to be projected over the next 10, 20 years, to see where your growth is going to occur, and what is the road systems going to need to look like in order to keep up with that traffic, keep up with that growth. Okay?
Surface Transportation Block Grant Program. This is typically used for roadway expansions, and I'll give you all some examples that y'all might know about. The NPO has funding, for example, FM 471 North in Medina County on the far west side of Medina County. You go up there by where State Highway 211 just recently came into 471 all the way back to Harlan High School. The NPO funded a portion of that project to expand that road from a 2-lane roadway to a 5-lane section with a continuous left turn lane. There's also like State Highway 123 in Guadalupe County. That's their major north-south corridor. It was only a 2-lane roadway, so they're looking at doing what's called a super tube, where you have, say, for example, 2 lanes going north, 1 lane going south, and then it switches back over, so you don't necessarily have to pass somebody and get across on the opposite side of traffic to pass somebody and have a potential for a head-on collision. So those are some of the types of programs that and pots of money where I think it would be really beneficial for Medina County to actually get those funds. Another one is, go back one more thing, transportation alternative funds. This is great for the cities because the transportation alternative funds is where you fund your bikes, your sidewalks, your hiking bike trails, all of that good stuff that the individual cities are looking at to increase the quality of life for their citizens. You can get funding from the transportation alternatives programs. And then the last one I want to point out is TxDOT's Category 2 Metropolitan and Urban Corridors Program. That type of projects, those are the major roadway expansions. For example, US 90. Right now they have a project going on US 90 from Loop 1604 out to State, to really the State Highway 211, where you're starting to see all of the fence lines move back where they purchased right away, and they're moving utilities, because that section is going to be turned into a fully controlled access freeway where you have frontages. So those are the type of projects that Medina County would now have access to that funding. Next slide. This last slide is just a comparison of some of the large MPOs that Texas has. Austin has one, it's called CAP Metro. Dallas-Fort Worth is the North Central Texas Council of Governments, and then you have HGAC, which is Houston-Galveston. As you can see, a lot of the other large MPOs, they have a lot more counties in their MPO boundaries than the Alamo area MPO. The Alamo area MPO is looking to expand because as our population grows, we're going to have more populations in the adjacent counties from their county. Just to give y'all some quick information, I pulled the latest transportation improvement plan that the NPO had for the next 4 years, and their authorized amount that they have to spend in the various categories is over $3 billion in the next 4 years. Now, that's across all of their categories. Obviously, Medina County would not be able to use some of the pots of funding because some of them are congestion, air mitigation, CMAQ funds, which only Bexar County has air pollution issues right now. But anything with $1 billion sign in front of it gives us a potential to actually get funding from Medina County, which would be really great. So what we're looking at proposing, last slide, the area in pink is what we're looking at, the request for the MPO to be included in the MPO. A lot of Medina County to the west is still very rural. They would still be in the rural planning organization, but the areas that are in eastern Medina County, those would be included in the request for the Alamo area MPO. It actually is about a mile west of State Highway 173. If you want to take that into consideration, it does include Hondo, it does include Devine, Lytle, Natalia. So looking at the potential for
becoming a member of the MPO take you out of the RPO? So
Yes.
you would no longer get it?
So the western side
Would
of
stay in the
Medina
RPO.
County would stay in the RPO.
Yeah, and the commissioners, it is, that boundary is 1 mile west of State Highway 173, and it also does 1 mile beyond the corporate limits of the city of Hondo and the city of Devine. So that allows us to pick up all of the cities, and that's important. Even in those buckets of money, you got things that are, you can't have RPOs, bike lanes, sidewalk, those type of things in there as well. And in Devine, it allows us to pick up all of, Highway 132 out to the intersection of 35. But as the commissioner pointed out a while ago, we talked about the continuous access roads. That's one of the things that's so badly needed on 35, for example. It's, you get these major accidents down there. It's a problem. You can't even move in the traffic bypassing in some of the areas. So that's I think that's pretty well we are. Kendall, I do believe they're in planning to take in the entirety of their county, I think very soon now as well. So that's the presentation. Commissioners, have any questions? And I would say also just for the public, this is one piece of, we're working on thoroughfare planning, we're working on projects with TxDOT for transportation planning, and I think a lot of these pieces will come together in, the second half of this year or so.
And again, this is funding for state highway improvements, not Mouse County Road.
That's correct. State and federal.
They also do some investment in city roads as well. So the city of San Antonio, I know just off the top of my head, Broadway downtown by the Pearl, the MPO has put some funds on that. They have funding for transit. So we could, if we're in the MPO, look at potential transit funding now. VIA does have a lot of it, but as far as people that need to be transported into the city of San Antonio or something like that, I can't really get into deep project, level details, but there is funding for, helping citizens move around other than by their own cost.
Okay, at this point, for you, adjustment on it, that's something we need to bring that into the
Yeah, not at this point. We're still be working through until we have our actual receipt and we've been accepted into it. At that point, then we'll have to make a decision on representation of the board.
It won't make a good, Commissioner Capone has worked on this board for TxDOT for around 5 years, so we're getting somebody that's working direct with these people, working right in the middle of it, instead of us having to learn through the back of it. But we've been trying to get this thing for the last couple, I know the last couple of elections a bunch, and we just didn't have enough people. But this last election, I think we made it about 600 or 700 people. So with that being said, I will make a motion that we approve the memorandum of understanding. That's with the attorney, the membership of the Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is known as AAMPO.
The resolution.
Resolution.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to adopt a resolution requesting membership into the Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 15, discuss and take possible action on approval of Office of the Attorney General contract number C-01285 for fiscal year 2024 Internet Crimes Against Children, ICAC subrecipient grant for the Sheriff's Office.
Guess we'll both do. So we have a memorandum of understanding last year that goes forward through September of this year, but in order to apply for this grant, we have to put memorandum of understanding. And it is for $8,950 for equipment travel and training for one of the deputies at the sheriff's office, but this,
He's assigned specialty 3.
This is, we just discussed this, and this is actually accepting it, correct?
Yes.
Acceptance.
It's up to free money.
Correct.
I'll make a motion that we accept the approval of the Office of Attorney General's office and internet crimes against children.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept and approve the Office of Attorney General contract number C01285 for fiscal year '24 for the Internet Crimes Against Children grant. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16, discuss and take possible action on approval of a memorandum of understanding with Bluebonnet Children's Advocacy Center, and including the working protocols with guidelines. This is a renewal, something we've had with them for years, and it's us doing a renewal with them.
No changes?
No, sir, no changes to it. Just, renewing.
I make a motion that we approve the MOU with Bluebonnet Children's Advocacy Center. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the MOU with Devine Children's Advocacy Center, including the working protocols and guidelines. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 17, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of the resignation of Linda Butler from Emergency Service District Number 2. This got put on, but I'm going to tell you, Will, you just need to, we can acknowledge the letter, but she did not resign. Her term is up. I mean, she fulfilled her term, but it went through, so, you know, if y'all want to, somebody wants to acknowledge the acceptance of the letter, it's fine. But she did fulfill her term.
I'll move that we acknowledge the acceptance of the letter.
Have a motion and a second to acknowledge acceptance of the letter from Brenda Butler for Emergency Service District Number 2. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 18, discuss and take possible action on appointments of the following Emergency Service District Board members. And I do have public comments before we actually take the item up, so I will, at this time, we have 4 of them. We don't have the others corrected. Nobody else? Okay, 4 of them. Okay, so first we have Terry Beck. Come on up, Terry. And we do have her, just as a reminder, make sure you keep it in the 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Terry Beck. I'm currently Service Treasurer and on the Finance Committee for Medina County SD1. And I have served in this capacity since 2020. I am here today because my position is up for renewal, and I would be honored to continue to serve on this board. I would like to bring you all up to speed on what's going on with the district, because we have no personal or hidden agendas with MCSD1, or none that I'm aware of. Our current fiscal budget for the year is $12.3 million, of which that is for construction of our new emergency response facility, Station 11, and capital purchases. The operations portion of our budget is $4.5 million, and that's to serve the day-to-day needs of the district. We have over $5 million in unencumbered reserves, and we continue to be on top of the growth within the district. We will soon have a temporary facility at 471 North and 1283 with a permanent facility to be constructed there once we have the fiscal ability to do so. We have 9 apparatuses currently on order. Some of them have already been delivered. 5 ambulances, 1 new fire engine, 1 new 100-foot aerial ladder truck to support commercial businesses such as Microsoft and others, 1 new combination pumper tanker, and 4 new brush trucks, 3 of which have already been delivered to the district. All of this has been done without having to go to the taxpayers and ask for more money. We have reduced the ISO rating for the district, allowing residents to save money on their homeowners insurance. Our staff includes Chief Clint Cook, who came to us 2 years ago with over 28 years of experience, having conducted this same type of conversion in another district. He is the captain of our ship and keeps us on course. The entire county is blessed to have him. Assistant Chief Windsor, with 14 years of service to the industry and is focused primarily on the design and implementation of EMS and fire and rescue within the district and the development of policies and guidelines for such responses, all the while overseeing the development of the training program. Deputy Chief Jaime Esquivel, with 14 years of experience being the volunteer chief in MICO while operating his own construction company. His primary role is overseeing construction projects and maintenance within the district and assisting the oversight of the program. District Administrator Polly Edden has been with the district 24 years and has volunteered with the Castleton Volunteer Fire Department since junior high. She has a wealth of knowledge of the ESD and administration and has helped districts all over the county with these areas of management. Lori Stein has been with the district since 2020 as administrative assistant for the district and has learned how to do inventory and maintain records for within the district. We currently have 18 paid firefighter staff personnel and many volunteers providing the quality services for citizens of the district they deserve. Our board president is Martin Juke, who started the district, who is the leader of our board and one of the greatest business minds I have ever been around. Rodney Hitzfelder is our vice president and brings a wealth of knowledge of being a retired career fire and EMS responder. Tom Page is our secretary and brings a wealth of knowledge from being in construction most of his life. Jenny Farron is our assistant treasurer and a financial wizard and brings much research and development experience through her career at Sweary and Icon in the research and development industries.
If you could wrap it up, we're over about 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. I am the treasurer and a lifelong resident of Medina County, and I would love to continue to serve in this capacity. We have a great team. We work well together. We are accomplishing great things for MCESD1 and the citizens of the district. And I humbly ask for your support and your vote to renew me on this board so that I can continue to volunteer my service in this great county and great industry. Thank you very much.
Next up, Linda.
I'm not good at this, I get a little nervous, so I'm just gonna read it. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Polly Edmond, and I've been involved with ESDs for over 24 years. I was instrumental in helping to get the ESD election successfully passed in 2006, and I've worked with ESDs all over the county in keeping their commissioners trained and learning the government rules. I would like to tell you that I've spoken to several ESD colleagues, and they understand the reason behind the new application process that the county has set up. But I'd also like to tell you a few things that maybe you don't know. Training good board members takes several years. As for the commissioners on these boards, it takes time to learn the rules of running a governmental entity. They must have the same government business skills as county commissioners. They just do fire and EMS rather than roads. But the growth and development issues and the business side is the same and takes the same level of expertise. These commissioners need to have managerial skills to operate the ESD like a business. The first responders are a specialized trained group, and you contract and hire for those specialized services. But the other side of the government entity takes citizens like yourself who have the know-how to manage a business. A few good qualities I have seen in past board members include banking, finance, growth and development skills, construction or engineering management, and business managerial oversight. With the help of the management-minded ESD commissioners, we were able to secure the sales tax to help fund the expensive costs of providing these specialized services. These ESD commissioners had foresight and the community mind. They did not do this for political reasons, but to be able to afford the services their constituents desperately requested. Had it not been for the ESD commissioners with the wisdom and managerial skills who could see the needs for the future, this county would not be in as good a shape as it is today. ESD commissioners do not get paid a salary. They donate their time and energy to attend meetings, subcommittee meetings, workshops, weekly construction site visits, meetings with administrative staff, and time driving through their district to see where the needs of the community lie. I can tell you I personally have missed out on a lot of kids' activities like evening baseball and soccer games due to the requirements to attend ESD functions. It takes a dedicated individual who put their community first. Above all personal interests, the care and quality service of the community as a whole is your priority. You may have heard that rumors that the ESD board members do not always agree all the time.
and that's okay. Differences of opinion on a government board can be healthy, because at the end of the day, after the ESD commissioners have all spoken and expressed their opinions, they cast their votes, and these votes are always for the citizens and the best of those citizens. The decisions can be difficult, but each and every citizen deserves the best. As you make your decisions today, I ask that you take these things into consideration and the selections are made on their management talents and time available to do the right thing by the taxpayers of our ESD districts. Thank you.
Next up, Marvin Juke.
Thank you for your time and giving me the opportunity to speak on this matter. My name is Marvin Juke. I moved here in 1975. I joined the fire department in that year. And I have been in the capacity of firefighter, fire chief, president, vice president, and I was also in charge of fundraising for that department. And in 1993, I helped create the ESD number 1. Since forming the ESD in 1993, the ESD has enhanced the services provided to the citizens of our district. Everyone needs to look back where we were 30 years ago when the ESD was formed and where we are today. We have 3 EMS units, paid staff, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 1 in Castroville, 1 in Rio Medina, and 1 in Mico. Also has 24-hour-a-day, 7-day a week first responders for fire and backing up EMS. 1 2-man crew in Castroville and 1 2-man crew in Rio Medina. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Plus many volunteers that respond with the paid responders from the Castroville station, the Call station, Rio Medina station, and the Mico station. Also know that we have a plan for the upcoming growth, the master plan in place. In the entire time I have served on this board, I cannot recall one single person who has come to one of our meetings and expressed concerns on the management or direction the ESD is going. Not one. I'm here today to voice my support for the members of the ESD board that are currently appointed. And I can't stress that more than I can, because I've been in this position for a while, and we have a good board, a working board. You can see by what Mr. Beck said that we do have our plan in place. It's a well-balanced board with fair representation from the entire district, intelligent professionals in their own fields. All are well-informed and contribute to a well-functioning board. These appointments should be made on merit, qualifications, and in the best interest of the taxpayers. It has always been my assumption that the Commissioners Court and the ESDs work together. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for y'all's comments. At this time, we will move in. We have multiple ESD appointments today. No, that's everybody. There wasn't any more, right?
You said 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just put yours right in the pile. Yes, sir, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's right there in front of me. I saved the best for last.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you for having us here this morning. My name is Rodney Hispo. For those who don't know me, hopefully you've had a chance to review our applications, our resume, my resume, and by the way, I commend the court for that process. I think it's definitely needed. You as the court and people of the community need to know who's applying for these positions throughout the county and what qualifications we bring why we're here. With that, I came to the board, I've been on the board over a dozen years, and I came to it after 32 years with the San Antonio Fire Department, which I had about every position in the department. And about my retirement, at that time I was approached by a representative of the judge to look at employment with the county. I decided not to seek that employment. After that, a group of businessmen approached me about seeking running for office in the county. I again did not take that opportunity to do so. When I was approached by a group of individuals in the community to volunteer as an ESD commissioner, I did choose that opportunity because I felt that I had much to lend to the process. But however, as Polly said, it did take some time. Even with all the time in my background, it still took well over a year or more for me to start understanding the differences of how an ESD operates. But the functions of emergency services are the same. And I brought those experiences to the board. During this time, we have made great strides. We have professionalized the department. We've gotten rid of some bad situations that plagued us early on. And I think that we're in a good position now. Growth affects all of us, and we are ready. I serve, or I am appointed at the wish of the commissioners. I serve with your approval. However, I serve the community, the people, the community, the cities, the businesses, and the travelers that come to our district. Those are the people that I serve. And so with that, I appreciate the opportunity to serve again. We have a good opportunity to provide good services, and I'd like to be a part of it. But again, that is your prerogative. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Sorry I forgot you.
No problem.
I would have let you go over it because I forgot you. You were under.
No need.
Okay, so we do have multiple appointments today. For those that may not know, we actually have 6 ESDs in our county. We have various numbers of those that are actually up, which is another kind of work in progress that we'll work through. We actually have a process with our applications and stuff now to be able to hopefully track this stuff well. So we have an Emergency Services District number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 today that we have in front of us to take action. So first up, we will take up Emergency Service District number 1. They currently have 3 appointments that are up, and we have 7 applicants for those 3 positions. Current members, Marvin Juke, Terry Beck, and Rodney Hinsfelder. New appointments for consideration that apply: Kate Griggs, Roy Hunsicker, Jason Birdie, and Hugo Stolte.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I make a motion for all 3 at once?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need a motion for the appointments.
Okay. And then we can discuss. I make a motion to appoint Marvin Juke, Rodney Hinsfelder, and Jason Birdie to the positions at ESD 1.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to appoint Marvin Juke, Rodney Hinsfelder, and Jason Birdie to ESD 1. Any discussion?
I think it's going to be a good representative group. One of the things that I looked at was the current board and the locations of where our board members are in ESD 1. And one of the things that concerned me a lot was we did not have board representation in the area of Petranco Road, right where we have the new Medina station, and that is our area of quickest growth. And we do not have representation. We have representation of 2 existing board members to the north, but then we had a gap in there. And as this ESD grows, I want to have representation for all of the citizens, all in the ESD area. And I think the qualifications from the applications really are going to help and support that when it comes to having that much growth in the ESD.
Any other discussion?
One thing I'd like to add is, over at my ESD2, it's been running smooth, there's no issues. We didn't come about one issue in the application process. So I would like to see us make a recommendation of the existing presidents of the board. They're the ones that have to work with everybody, not us as members of the Commissioners Court. That's just my opinion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Emergency Service District number 2. We have currently 2 appointments that are needed, but we only have 1 applicant. Hunt for another applicant. This is a current member, Kenneth Nice-Wonder.
Is he a current member? Or is he a new?
No, I'm sorry. Kenneth is no, he is not a member currently. He's out for consideration. Correct. Kenneth Nice-Wonder.
So we have 2 spots to fill and 1 new person.
Correct.
Trying to fill
We
those
only
2
have
spots.
1 applicant at the moment. They're working to try to find some other folks.
I'll make a motion for me to appoint Ken Nice-Wonder.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to appoint Kenneth Nice-Wonder to Emergency Service District number 2. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have Emergency Service District number 3. We need 3 appointments, and all 3 that are there are current members. We don't have any other applications. Jonathan Peterson, George Mayo, and Rosa Maria Mares, better known as AKA Rosemary Mares.
Okay. The majority of David, but I have some as well. So I will make the motion to appoint Jonathan Peterson, George Mayo, and Rosemary Mayers to the 3 positions for ESD number 3.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Jonathan Peterson, George Mayo, and Rosa Maria Mares to ESD number 3. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
I understand.
And we have 1 abstention from Commissioner Lynch. That's his, one of them's your nephew. Okay, next we have ESD number 4. We need 2 appointments. Both of the applications, we don't have any for new applicants. We have current members Anthony Martin and Juan Zamora.
Judge, 4 doesn't appear on the agenda.
I'm sorry.
Number 6. It's on there, you're looking at the draft. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had to interrupt you. All right, thank you. I'm glad you got
I had the same thing came up Friday afternoon, and Jennifer's like, "You're looking at the draft, Judge." I'm like, "Good."
Okay.
So yes.
All right, it's on there. Okay, good deal, thank you.
Anthony Martin.
Is that 2 needed?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Anthony Martin and Juan Zamora to the District number 4.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Anthony Martin and Juan Zamora to ESD District number 4. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item ESD number 5 actually does need applicants. They need 2 of them, but they don't have any currently. So we'll be working on rectifying that. So we'll move to ESD number 6. ESD number 6, we need 3 current members that have asked to reappoint Sam Dubberly and Samuel Wilson. And then we have a new applicant, Thomas Mayfield, for ESD number 6.
I will recommend the appointments of Sam Dudley, Sandra Wilson, and Tom Mayfield. Right, we have 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Sam Dubberly, Sandra Wilson, and Tom Mayfield to Emergency Service District number 6. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you to the ESD board, all of you that were here today. We appreciate y'all coming and speaking, and appreciate the updates that we actually heard in the presentations, and look forward to 2024. A lot of work to do. Thank y'all. Item number 19, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of Emergency Service District number 5 annual financial report for the year ending December 31st, 2022. As you all know, this is one that we didn't have on time, but you'll get this to us, and we just need to accept this report. So I need a...
I'll make one just up for a report, 6 months later.
Second.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to accept the Emergency Service District number 5 annual financial report for the year ended December 31st, 2022. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 20, discuss and take possible action on resolution approving submission of the fiscal year 24 State Homeland Security Grant application for the Community Emergency Response Team, known as CERT, Medina County Overwatch Volunteer Program for equipment. Mr. Chapman.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, and thank you for allowing me to present on this. So this is the time period when we need to be applying for any potential projects that we would have for SHSP, State Homeland Security Program. There are categories that the Alamo Area REPAC selects, and then there are also state priorities. State priority right now is a volunteer program. Specifically, they like to see CERT. So we already have in our process that we began with the Medina County Overwatch guys, with the radio guys, we have volunteers. What we don't have is equipment. So that would allow us to go out and get some equipment and things that we would have on hand to be able to support our volunteers out in the field. The minimum this year was changed, so the minimum grant that we could request is $10,000. So I'm working with everybody. We're going to do some finalizing on this, but we're ready to submit that application.
So the minimum amount is $10,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what are you, just off the top of your head, nothing set in stone, what are you looking at first?
So there's lots of different equipment that you can get. We have 2 old Bear County CERT trailers, but they're empty. I don't know how many years ago the contents of those emptied out. Typically for CERT, we will find backpacks that will have vests, kind of like the road construction type vests, so that when you put volunteers out in the field, some of them will have hard hats, protective eyewear, different things like that. Also some canopies, so that when you deploy somewhere, you can pop those things up. You've all been out in the 115 plus degree temperature out there trying to work on the side of the road. Lots of just equipment and supplies, rolling cases, lots of different things. I provided everyone with the full budget that we have to submit to the state of that.
Okay. So it could, the supplies that you would be purchasing, could be anything. It could be to
Exactly.
water, to hand out to people during a disaster.
Basically, anything that we can use to support them in the field. Like I say, right now, the great thing is, and the radio guys have been phenomenal. And they have radio equipment. But what they don't have is all the other things that we need to be able to put volunteers safely into the field. If we're going to utilize volunteers in disasters, and let's face it, I don't care how big a jurisdiction you are, in a major disaster, we can't do it without volunteers. We just can't.
Okay.
But you also need some things that make them look official. You don't want people walking around in their own home t-shirts and stuff like that, going on people's property or near people's property after a disaster.
Sure. But the community volunteers, they're vital during a disaster.
Yes.
And something as simple as being able to provide somebody with maybe more food.
It can be as simple as that, all the way up to as complicated as, so I've been training our volunteers to go out and do what's called damage assessments. After a disaster, we have to conduct damage assessments and turn that into the state. So a lot of things preemptively we're doing on training them. The health unit has done great on providing them the training for CPR, first aid, AED, stop the bleed. So we're trying to give them well-rounded training on a lot of different areas and hopefully to grow this beyond. I don't want it to just become one of those things where we look at the volunteer program as it's just the regular guys. It's more expansive than that.
Okay, so this is a grant, give $10,000.
Yes, sir.
I will make a motion that we approve the submission for the Homeland Security grant application for community emergency response team. Perfect.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second, approving the resolution approving the submission of fiscal year 24 state homeland security grant application for CERT. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 21, discuss and take possible action on approval of the following updates to the Medina County Emergency Management Basic Plan. Mr. Chadwick.
Thank you again, Judge and Commissioners. So if you remember, right after I came on board, we had to do all of our plans. That's a total of 17 plans that encompass the emergency operation plan. You saw the one that Jennifer had last year that was our display, and then I think all of you got the digital copies. What I didn't want to do is roll 5 years down the road and have to do all 17 again on one individual year. So I'm breaking it down, and every year I want to redo 4. That's something that's doable, and we can accomplish that and not take a lot of time. So I pulled these 4 out. I did some updates. Basically, there's some appendices that have been added to them to just help refine some things. Those have already been reviewed and approved by the Texas Division of Emergency Management. And I think, Judge, that I forwarded you that message from Steve Harris that said he has approved those. So he's just waiting on our action. Once we take action and then the judge would sign these 4, then it'll go to the state and they'll update what's called our jurisdictional profile to show that those 4 will then have 5 years from now before the meeting.
Are you going to read these to them, or you'll just go ahead?
You gonna read or wrong?
I'm going to take it that everything has been done right, and I will approve the following updates of Medina County Emergency Management Basic Plan. If y'all want to read the book you got, and did you get one of them, everybody? One of the other handbooks you wrote out?
Oh, not yet. I haven't.
Yeah, I read through it. That's quite impressive what you have put together.
Yes.
If anybody had to read about firefighting, you put out a go. And who was that recognized by the governor's office, or?
Yes, sir. So and again, I'm constantly trying to do things to look at your documentation. This is where we cover ourselves for liability. It really is. And so we've got to make sure our plans are up to date.
So I'm going to second his motion, and then I'll say my comments for.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the following updates to the Medina County Emergency Basic Plan, which would be updating ESF number 2, ESF number 5, ESF number 10, and ESF number 11. Any discussion?
Yes, Mark, I would really appreciate it, and I don't know how the other commissioners feel. is just kind of a workshop on some of these that you have already written, because it is really important for the commissioners to know those resources and basically to know your plans. So when we have an incident happen, for example, a hazardous spill, March not driving around all day long just searching for hazardous spills or something like that. But if you could potentially put together a workshop for us to give us the ability to answer questions, I greatly appreciate it.
Certainly. Love to.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 22, discuss and take possible action on resolution approving the submission of fiscal year 25 body worn camera grant program application to the Office of the Governor for the Sheriff's Office.
So what we're doing, we're going to reapply for this grant to outfit the additional new officers that we have acquired since the last application.
How many of these are there? How many are there?
We're looking at maybe 8.
I make a motion that we approve the submission of the body worn camera grant program application.
Have a motion and a second approving the resolution for the submission of the fiscal year 25 body worn camera grant program to the Office of the Governor. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
So Gilbert's one take myself.
Motion
Get free
carries.
money. You're good at it, Gilbert.
Next one, item 23, another one that we apply for every year, to discuss and take possible action on resolution approving the submission of the fiscal year 25 bullet resistant shield grant program application through the Office of the Governor for the Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir. We previously applied for this grant that we were granted and received 16, 17 shields that have been deployed mainly through the school districts. So now our phase 2 is we're going to get additional shields, but much smaller. Compact, where we can place them in patrol units, somewhere easy to grab, where a one-person operation, where the first grant was a large one for multi-person operation.
I think I'm the big one, if I ever need one. Just,
We can have it stationed at your office, Judge.
as soon as the med shot.
I'll move that we approve the resolution approving the submission of the fiscal year 25 bullet resistant shield grant program.
Have a motion and a second approving the resolution for the submission of the fiscal year 25 bullet resistant shield grant program to the Office of the Governor. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 24, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of the newly assigned private road 6756 located in precinct 3 in the official mapping system.
So this is in precinct 3. And so I guess it's in order. It's actually a private road off of a private road, which I don't think I've had one of those before. Aaron, did you want to say something?
I can't remember off the top of my head which one this is.
6756, this is down by Hunter's Lake. It's a private road off the extension of a subdivision at Hunter's Lake, and this private road is accessed by the first private road. So, I mean, we can put a sign up there as long as we have access to the first section.
Hopefully people can or know each other.
It's a long road with a lot of...
You know, I live on a private road, and I have a real problem with somebody coming into my private road.
Yeah, so they have about 4 or 5 people using an easement that runs north to south. So we originally, we don't get notified when the properties are split up unless it's a reported subdivision. So originally, one of the men in the very back was assigned off of that PR that runs east to west. But once we saw there's multiple residents that live back there or will be living back there, we wanted to extend that so we could get 911 to each front door versus just up to where the easement starts off of the other one.
Everybody utilizes this road now. It's just not labeled as a private road. Correct? Is that what you're saying?
getting it.
There's no gate or lock there, I'm assuming, to access the first private
I'm
road.
not positive, I haven't been back there myself.
I'm assuming there's lots of people utilizing it, there's probably not.
Right. I always encourage them to call the sheriff's office and give them the gate code if there are gates, but I haven't been back there myself.
Well, if you attempt to put a sign up and can't get in, we'll let you know.
Okay, perfect.
It was like the justice said, we got private roads all over, other private roads are all over. Well, like I say, I personally live on 3 Mile private road, and I have had numerous people want to access all the road, nothing will happen.
Well, they don't have an easement on there now, do they?
No.
See, this is one where they also.
This is one where they have it.
Like I say, we do have subdivisions where private roads are all private roads.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll make the motion that we accept this newly assigned private road 6756.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the newly assigned private road 6756 located in precinct 3 into the official mapping system. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Motion carries. Item numbers 25 and 26 are actually tabled because they're still trying to finish stuff. We're down to working out all the final stuff with Teal. We're bringing it all to a head, so it's not quite done, so we'll table those two. Item number 27, executive session. The court will meet in executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding pending litigation. We will go into executive, and everybody, you can stay here. We'll go to the conference room with the attorney. I don't think it'll take very long, actually. But we'll go into executive session at 11:15 a.m. and we'll be back soon.
Hey, get a hold of me in the morning.
Okay.
I'll get with you.
Okay. I'll make it on.
Yep, that'd be fine.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we will reopen regular meeting at 11:50 a.m. We do not have any action items. There's just updates only from the attorneys. This time, court member announcements, number 29.
Okay. Put me on the spot here. We had a good Christmas holidays. We had a lot of staff take off between Christmas and New Year's, so it was a great opportunity to do a lot of maintenance on our equipment in preparation for getting everybody back up to being full staff. We were doing some bar ditch work on County Road 355. There was no ditches and it was causing some ponding issues on that roadway. We're working on hauling off that dirt. We've patched 10 roads in the last 2 weeks. We're going to continue to do that as you get this wet, misty weather. You're going to get a lot of potholes. Really focusing on working on the ditches on some of our county roads, boom shredding, getting the right of way cleared during the cold weather time when you can't necessarily work on roads. So they will be prepped and ready to go for all of the road work that we have coming up in the spring.
Well, we've been hustling and bustling in between the rain between the last 2 weeks, so we've almost had a full-off job because of the rain the whole time, and then it seems like we can't have a schedule on this thing, because you get ready to pave a road, and then you got to pull off 2 weeks to go fit the pothole somewhere else, and you come back, what you have ready needs reworking, so that's what we're doing today, reworking.
We are, main thing we're working on now, we started redoing our section of the cemetery road, right there off of that one, it's got in pretty bad shape. So we ought to have that back in shape pretty quickly in addition to the normal patching and shredding and other things that we do.
Precinct 4 was normal patching potholes that are popping up every day. Today is the first day I get my whole crew back from December 1st. So.
Excellent. All right, I think that does it for this session, so
motion to adjourn.
A motion and a second, all in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.